Hello everyone. This time I'm trying to use this Hasselblad X1DII Mark II with the 45p pancake lens as a setup for me to do street photography. Remember couple of videos before we also used this setup to do street photography. We did a photo walk and I tried to use the 45p, and also the latestly I trying to use the 21mm, which is a super wide angle Hasselblad lens, which is I like it a lot because it's super sharp and super wide on the street. And then you can see how good to use this super wide angle lenses on the street too. But of course, this is 45p is more like the equivalent of 35mm lenses on the full film format camera, right? The Leica M. And I would like that. I think this is the right angles or the film for street photography. Although I like the super wide a little bit more. But this time I'm trying to use this lens in manual mode. I'm sure a lot of you already know that I also use the Leica M camera and M lenses to shoot on the street, and not using the Hasselblad a lot on the street because it's not easy to get focus, and especially it's not good in manual mode. But this time I'm trying to use this setup, the Hasselblad X1DII Mark II and also the 45p, and then using them in manual mode, and that means I'm going to use zoom focusing. So I'm trying to show you how I'm going to use zoom focusing to do street photography with this setup. For street photography, normally we will use 28, 35 or 50mm because that is the lenses give us the best distance and wide enough to capture not only the object but also the surroundings. And we will see that there is more apertures such as f8 or f11 during the bright sunlight, and or maybe f5.6 during maybe indoor or maybe a little bit cloudy day. Depends on the environment. For shutter speed, normally we should use 125 in a second or even higher, so that we can freeze the motion or the movement of the people around on the street. And then so that's why maybe sometimes we need to use very high ISO. For the medium format like the Hasselblad, because the sensor is larger and the lens itself, for example this one, the 45p pancake lens, it only has the maximum aperture of f4.0. So if I'm going to shoot it, for example, in a daily sunlight, I can still using the 250 in a second shutter speed, and also maybe around f5.6 or even f8 aperture. But if I'm going to shoot it in cloudy day or in indoor or even in the evening or maybe in the nighttime, then I can't increase my aperture because I need to keep the focus range large enough, and I can't speed up my shutter speed anymore. And so the only way I can shoot a photograph is to turn up the ISO. So sometimes I will need to use an ISO as high as 12.8K ISO speed, so that I can using the larger apertures and also the faster shutter speed. See, this is auto-focusing beaming from the lens. Because the 45p is a mechanical focusing lens, so that means when you're moving the lens up back and forth, it moves in a mechanical way. That also means that it will be very slow when you're doing focusing, and that's why if you are shooting on the street, which we require very quick response on the camera, it won't give you that kind of response. Even though I'm using my Leica M and M lens because it's manual, so I don't need to do the focusing at all. I'm using zoom focusing. So I'm just trying to think about if I'm using this setup on the street, can I use the same way as my M and M lens, using zoom focusing instead of auto focusing, so that I can capture the pictures at the time when I need it? First of all, let's see how are we going to set up in a manual mode. So let's turn up to the menu, and then from the menu there's an AF here, and then we turn it to manual focus. So if that's manual focus, when I turn the focus ring, it will enlarge itself. Okay, let me show you. Let's say I'm trying to focus using the focus ring manually. So when I turn the focus ring, it will enlarge the object, and then so that I can do manual focusing, and when it is done, become sharp. It become very sharp on the. Can you see the clothes over there, right? Yes. See? Okay. But it's still very slow, and then you won't be able to do it, on the street. One way to do it is to turn on the monitor and also switch on those indicators. For example, let's see. When I screw this, then this is the indicator for the distance. So you can see the distance mark at the bottom of the screen. So when I do the focusing, suppose it will change. See, because it's enlarged all the time, so that's why. But you can see the mark is moving. I can set this distance, for example, for the zoom focusing, just like using the manual M lens. But the problem is, this lens don't have any marks at the front. So if I accidentally turn this ring, the focus will change, and I don't really know that until I see this distance mark. And so I found out there's another way which I think is more easy and convenient for myself. The way I'm going to use it is by focusing on the eyepiece, like this one. And then I do the focusing here. When I'm done, I just lift my hand and like it is. So every time before I try to shoot some objects on the street, I will try to focus in a kind of like virtual, aim or objects or subjects in front of me, so that I can, do the focusing first, and then I will hold it and then wait for the object to come in the frame, so that I can press the button. So this is the way to set up the manual focusing. And then somebody said it is called the trap focusing. So it's like setting up a trap, so that when the object's coming in, and then it will take the shot. So basically, this is the differences when using the Hasselblad medium format camera, like this one, X1DII Mark II with the 45p pancake lenses for street photography. Especially when you compare with the manual lens systems like the Leica M and M lenses. The difficulties I found is because from the slow shutter response from the Hasselblad when doing focusing, and then it's a little bit hard to lock the focus system on the lens, because the lens focus ring can be turned very easy, and there's no marks on top of the lens, which you can see whether you have been turning the focus ring by yourself accidentally. So this time I'm trying to shoot with this system on a cloudy day, and also in the evening, in the night time in central of Hong Kong, and to see how good and how easy the shooting experience will be. So let's check out my photo walk with this system tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you like my video and we'll see you again next time.